Into the stretch. It was Seattle Slew on the lead with Chick Anderson describing the action.
Opening it up again. It's Seattle Slew, and he's drawing clear of the field. Seattle Slew has 4 lengths on Run Dusty Run. It's Run Dusty Run in second and San Edwin third. They're clearing the finish line. It's still Seattle Slew, and he's opened it out to 4.5. And Run Dusty Run and San Edwin. They're coming onto the wire, and it's all over with. John Cougar looks back. He's got it 1. He stands up. It's over with. Seattle Slew 3.5. Run Dusty Run is second, 2.5.
It was an afternoon that the owners, Dr. Jim Hill and his lovely wife Sally, and Mickey Taylor and Karen Taylor would never forget. Their horse had become the first unbeaten Triple Crown winner in history. They thought Seattle Slew was unbeaten, so they shipped the colt out west. Inglewood, California, Hollywood Park, T-shirts selling for $5. Standing room only crowd. It was to be an easy assignment, but as they hit the stretch, J.O. Tobin had the lead.
Affiliate third by 3, and Seattle Slew is dropping back. Seattle Slew is well beaten. It's J.O. Tobin out in front by 8 lengths. J.O. Tobin, affiliate on the outside in text, and J.O. Tobin is the winner by 8.5 lengths.
There would be no celebrating by the Slew crew this time. What had happened to their Triple Crown winner?
He never showed any of the zip that he showed. He is right, and it's very puzzling because he came up to the race, I think, in great shape. He was happy, and he seemed to like this track, and it was just a tremendous shock to all.
That devastating loss in the Swap Stakes seemed to satisfy the critics. Dissension within the ranks. The trainer, Billy Turner, was to be fired, and Doug Peterson would be hired. Meanwhile, Seattle Slew returned to the East Coast, where he went back into training. They hoped to bring the colt back early in 1978 in Florida, but a virus struck. And then finally, on a rainy afternoon at Aqueduct, Seattle Slew made a dramatic comeback.
Second, Proud Aryan and Capulet Song is third, coming to the wire. Here he is, folks, the Triple Crown champion, Seattle Slew.
Seattle Slew won still another allowance at Saratoga. Then it was back to the main event. Dr. Patches and Seattle Slew hook up at the Meadowlands, and Davy Johnson has the call.
Rail. Dr. Patches on the outside. On the rail at Seattle Slew. They're heading stride for stride. Dr. Patches on the outside. Seattle Slew on the rail. Those two to the wire.
After that upset victory, jockey Jean Cougar would be fired as the rider for Seattle Slew. Angel Cordero would be brought aboard. And then came a classic confrontation. The first meeting ever of Triple Crown winners. Seattle Slew on the outside, affirmed with Stevie Coughlin on the inside.
Nearing the finish, Seattle Slew has it by 4. Affirmed, fireback, nasty and bold. At the wire, it's going to be Seattle Slew. He pulls off the big one, winning it 2.5.
First and then a second. And you know, Frank, some horsemen believe that second place finish really demonstrated Slew's greatness.
Brent, I'm in that camp. I know it's unusual to say that a losing race is the best, but to me it was his most impressive effort. He was forced to a first 3/4 of a mile in 9 2. That kind of pace can burn any equine out. It did not ruin Seattle Slew. He kept on fighting, stuck it out, and almost had Exceller again at the wire. Dr. Hill, I know you like all of his.
And the Slew lets out another notch and begins to open on the field. Seattle Slew 2.5 lengths. Jumping Hill is second by 4 as they come to the head of the stretch. 3/4 went in an even 110 flat. Now they pass the stretch. Cordero now goes to the whip right-handed, and Seattle Slew continues to hold a big lead. He has 4 lengths as they near the 8th pole. The whip still down as Cordero now handwriting out to the finish line. 1 mile in 34 2, going for that record with a 16th to go. Seattle Slew. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the champion of the world, Seattle Slew. And he crosses the line, the winner by